you've had quite the range lately, from brooding supernatural general to a lost pig-tailed martial artist and a dungeon diving food critic. Let's unpack that, yeah? So, Damien, my first question is, let's start with my happy marriage.
Okay.
Kiyoka Kudo is the definition of intimidating on the outside, soft cinnamon, raw in the inside. Did you expect to make anime Twitter cry weekly with just your voice and a haunted stare?
Well, first of all, thank you so much. And please forgive me, I'm losing my voice. Kiyoka is a really interesting character because on the outside, it's pretty clear that there's a lot of layers going on there, and it seems like he's, how complicated and complex, but really, I think he's not too different than most people. Like, when you boil it right down, it's not too hard to put yourself in the position of having to balance society's expectations for you while also trying to let yourself be vulnerable, trying to let yourself be okay, expressing yourself, and also having something to protect. We all have something we want to protect, right? So I think it's a lot more accessible than people might think.
Thank you for that. Now, for Ryoga Hibiki from Ranma 1/2 is literally the anime poster child or poster boy for No Thoughts, Just Lost.
Yes.
Memes has not been kind, but lovingly so, right? Do you have any favorite Ryoga moment where you just thought, yeah, this guy's completely hopeless and I adore it?
I think for me, it was the first montage of Ryoga being introduced to the new version of Ranma half, where this is a man on a mission. He's just taken down a giant boar like it was nothing, and he's just like, "Where is Ranma?" And people are like, "We don't know who that is. What town do you think you're in?" I think there is no better way to describe him than him thinking he's in his own action movie. He's just fought the final boss, but it's like, buddy, you're not even in the right country. That to me is so deeply funny, and like, finding a character is based on like what their want is, what their drive is. And he might be incorrect all the time, but he always has that drive. And I think that's such a fun thing to latch on to.
Thank you.
Of course.
Now, Laios from Delicious in Dungeon is a guy who will stop mid-fight to analyze whether a dragon's liver is edible. As an actor and a human being, how do you even begin to channel that kind of foodie, chaotic energy?
I mean, I'll be so honest with you. Obviously, as an actor, you have to access a lot of different things that aren't necessarily a part of you. But Laios is so easily accessible for me. I love animal facts. I love trying different kinds of food. If there is any kind of food in the world where like a culture is like, yes, we already make this is the thing we're proud of, I will try it. Even in a D&D campaign the other day, someone dropped a fact about an enemy and I was like, oh, that would make it a monotreme. That means it would be like a platypus or an echidna. So thinking about it, that means we can fight it this way. Like, that's me for real. So Laios is, yes, it's acting, but at the same time, I'm like, there's a part of him that's just me, and I love that.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Now, fun question.
Yeah.
You've now voiced a monster-slaying glutton, a teleporting martial artist with zero GPS, and a dangerously repressed romantic lead. Do fans ever confuse your roles at con? Like, has anyone ever asked if Kiyoka would eat a mimic's chest if Laios served it right?
First of all, I love the way you describe these things, so thank you. I haven't been asked about that yet. I do think people ask me about specific characters, like what I would want to eat from the Dungeon Meshi universe, or, who I would most want to be friends with from Ranma half, things like that. But I haven't seen too much crossover yet. So someone did ask me which characters I voiced that would get along best, and I think that would be Laios from Delicious in Dungeon and Shez from Fire Emblem. They both love cooking, they both love trying different things, they're both mercenaries, they're both used to sort of roughing it and eating what they can and finding a good meal while out in a battle. I think they would connect on that.
Now we're gonna enter our rapid fire questions, just simple questions. More dangerous, being stuck in a dungeon with Laios or following Ryoga's direction for 10 minutes straight?
I think Dungeon with Laios, because at least if you're following Ryoga, he usually finds himself in places with food.
Would Kiyoka Kudo survive a day with the Ranma cast, yes or no?
Kiyoka Kudo would absolutely survive a day with the Ranma cast and would also probably get them in line.
Which of your characters would win in the Great British Bake Off?
That would have to be Laios. I don't think out of pure skill, but he would just stumble upon something so specific that the judges would never had before that it would just sort of win them over.
If you can only keep one skill, Kiyoka's psychic powers, Ryoga's raw strength, or Laios' questionable culinary instinct, which one?
I think I would have to go with Ryoga's raw strength, because the only thing like nerfing Ryoga is the fact that he has no GPS and no like focus of direction either, like in terms of mentally. I feel like I've got that part at least a little bit on lock, and if I had that strength, buddy, ooh, different story for me.
Now, Damien, without giving any spoilers or breaking any NDAs, of course, can we expect to see more of your characters back in action soon? Any returning favorite cooking in the booth, perhaps?
You know, as you said, I'm never able to break NDA. What I will say is that as soon as I'm able to talk about things on my socials, I want to scream it to the world. So anything I can share, you'll see it there. Otherwise, go to the official sources like a Netflix just to see what they are announcing.
Thank you so much for joining us for this interview, Damien. We appreciate you sharing your insight with our audience.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.